Hi, do you know what are the advantages or the disadvantages of stock music, background music, or production music? Now today I was thinking that if there are people who didn't start their adventure in the stock music, background music, production music field, it would be really interesting to acknowledge and to know what are the advantages or the disadvantages of this adventure. Which one we are taking the first? I would say let's take the advantages. Now, if you decide to start your adventure in this field, becoming a stock music, background music, production music composer, beat maker, artist, singer, songwriter, the first advantage is the freedom. What that means? I mean, you are actually really free to do whatever you want, to work as much as you want. I mean, if you want to work 48 hours, work 48 hours. If you want to work only 1 hour per day, 1 hour per day. But you have a total freedom to decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to do it. It's really a complete freedom. This is really an advantage of being on this adventure of stock music, production music, background music. So you create your music and then you are uploading on the platforms and you are waiting to have your music licensed. So it offers you really a freedom, and then it really helps you to discover how can you manage, or can you really by yourself manage the time, the production, everything. It's a one-man show, really. What can be another advantage of uploading your music and selling as a stock music, as a background music, as a production music? Well, the payment. The payment can be a real advantage in the sense that, in the sense that if you sell your music and there's a need and the clients start to buy your music, and there are different criteria on different platforms. There are thresholds, okay? I think on Pond 5 there's a $25 limit. I think on 1, 2, 3 RF it's $50, I think. And so on and so forth. So there are a minimum amount of threshold, but the payments are made monthly. So you get monthly payment. So at the end of the month, or until the 5th of the next month, you get your payment. Isn't that great? I mean, you are creating your music the way you want, and how you want, where you want, and at the end of the month, until the 5th of the next month, you get the payment for the usage of your tracks. So this is a really high advantage, because I will talk to you in another footage that for the royalty payments, you have to wait many times of 9 months. You are waiting for money your product was used, your song was used 9 months before you see any payments. So this is really an advantage. Then another advantage, I mean, really, today, because we can make very easily music, a computer, like let's say an instrument if you want, so, or if not, everything in a box. So you need minimal investment. So it's really a minimal investment, because obviously, as I told you, computer software, a DAW, and a few virtual instruments, or if you have already an instrument, a guitar, and you can record and create stock music, production music, background music already. Now, what are other advantages? Another advantage, obviously, because this, to be stock music, background music, production music adventure, it really needs you quantity. So you have to make a lot of tracks, but making a lot of tracks, it will help you to develop. So another advantage we can include the development of your development, okay, as an artist. I mean, you will see if you are starting in this adventure. After a few years, you will become better. You will become better as an artist, as a creator. You will start to create much easier a music, to finalize the music. You will understand, and you will handle better your software, your DAWs. So everything that has to do with our artistical development, it will really enhance and help you to develop your skills in time, of course. Now, another advantage, as I told you about freedom, but it's the same thing. It is related with the freedom. So it's no stress, no pressure. Yes. So no stress, and no pressure, no deadlines. There are no deadlines. So you are really working in the rhythm as you wish, as you think that is correct and normal for you, because there isn't another part who is demanding you something, or that you have a deadline. That deadline has to be managed by yourself. So it's very good for self-management also. So self-management is also because you have to manage yourself. You have to put a deadline where you think that that is normal. So this is really actually good, and not at least the advantage is that you are working alone. You are working by yourself. So there isn't another entity, another person who will tell you what to do, or who will ask you to do something that you do not want to do. So it's that you are working alone. Working alone. So that could be again an advantage. Now we talked about disadvantages. Yeah. Let's say, what are the disadvantages of being a stock music, background music, production music adventure. So the first disadvantage is, let's say, about payment. Now, I spoke about payment and I told you that this is cool because this is an advantage, because you can get monthly payments. Yeah, but the problem is you don't know how much. It can fluctuate. As, let's say, one day or 1 month, you can make $1,000. Next month, you can make zero, nothing. The platforms are not guaranteeing you. There's no guarantees, and nobody is working for you. In these platforms, the game is as a lottery. So there are no persons who are working for you, pitching for you your songs, I don't know, or making something to help you to sell music. On these platforms, you are playing the lotto. That's the truth. So the payment, we are talking about the fluctuation, yes? Now let's say one day you can have zero, but you can have 1,000. But nobody will guarantee you monthly that you will have 1,000. You can have, very simply, a zero. So payment, you cannot rely on the payment. You cannot really rely on the payment and say, I'm sure that with this business is sustainable. I can live without fears, without any problems. And what are you doing when it's coming? I mean, many times I see, and I saw on myself also, it comes August, it comes, I don't know, maybe January, and the sales are really low. The sales are really low, meaning that if I can make 1,000, but then I can have almost zero, nothing. So this is really a disadvantage in this situation regarding to the payments. Now another disadvantage is the competition. The competition. I mean, it's nice that you can upload, simply you can upload your tracks and then you are waiting your music to be sold, to be licensed. But there's a real competition, which we shouldn't ignore it. There's a real competition, and the competition, it's a global one. It's a global competition. I mean, anybody. And I was speaking to you about advantages, the freedom and the minimal investment. But be able to create music with a minimal investment, that leads to this. Minimal investment leads to this, so that the competition becomes bigger and bigger. So anybody today can really create music, can upload music and sell music. And let's say you are living in the United States or in France, I don't know where, or in England, and your needs, for example, living needs, are like, let's say, $2,000. These are your living needs. Okay, you have families, whatever, errands. But there's another person who is living, I don't know, in Thailand. He's living in maybe in Africa. He's living not South Africa, but he's living in North Africa. He's living in other poor or India. Okay, so his needs, monthly needs, for example, let's say it's exaggerate a little bit, but let's say it's $100. So these are the monthly needs, $100. Okay, so for him to sell the music, he can sell it for, I don't know, lowering the prices. There where I want to go. So for him, it's easy. I mean, he will sell his music for less as you, and maybe the quality is the same. So the competition, it's a real competition. And then another disadvantage is the reality is the lottery. It's the lottery effect, because this is the truth. It's really a lottery game, because if it's an open market, a globally open market, and it's an open market without restriction, besides the, let's say on Pond 5 on Audio Jungle and 123RF and so on and so forth, there are reviewers, but they are reviewing really to see only if the quality of the composition is correct, if it's right, but nothing more. But they accept, globally they are accepting. I mean, I'm always asking myself how many audio contributors per day are signing up on these platforms. I don't even want to imagine how many tracks are uploaded on a daily basis. I just know that there are way too much that they have as clients. So there are less clients than audio contributors and tracks on their platforms. I mean, just I don't know if you remember when I was sharing my experience as I have on Pond 5, and I told you there that I had a discussion with the audio department director who was telling me, because I had a problem uploading sound effects, and he told me, well, sincerely, I mean, we do not need audio effects. We have already too much, way too much. And if you upload this, like you are doing something in vain. So can you imagine with the music is the same thing? And I'm looking on the blogs and so many complaints. I mean, those people do not understand that this is really a lottery. You cannot base your income on this, the revenue. I mean, if you are doing just this and your needs are these or even higher, because that can modify, then obviously this thing that I was talking about, pressure, no stress, no deadlines, no pressure, then it's completely false, because you start to get pressure, and you cannot. You will ask yourself, how can I manage this? And you start to do the same thing, like maybe hundreds of other audio contributors doing the same thing. You will start to work harder to create more, but there are thousands of other contributors who will do the same thing, because they will think the same thing, that they do not have enough audio material, and they will continue to do more and more and more. And this circle, where, do you remember I have put the dots as the music? I mean, you think that you do not have, I mean, these are yours, yes? These are your music. And you think you do not have enough music. So you will start to put more music. But other creators will think the same thing, and they will start to put more. And it's always an endless battle. It's a battlefield, an endless battle where everybody is trying to put more and more and more, but finally the selection, it's not obvious. There are platforms, like for example production tracks, and there are other platforms where obviously they are saying that there's a possibility you can pay to have a premium listings, meaning that if on the search engine one track it is paid, so he's paying his listings, he will appear in front of the others. But if everybody starts to play, it's the same game. So it's really this is a really big disadvantage. I mean, this is the thing that you should understand and just acknowledge it. But if you understand and you are acknowledging it, then it's fine. I'm always saying that depends. Where do you live? What is your portfolio? How easily and how fast you can create? I still consider that this business, this side of the music business, it's really a side hustle. I mean, it's good to do it, but as a side hustle, not something that you base your entire life, your entire family life on this income, because you cannot really rely on it, and you are not the master of the situation, meaning beside the fact that you can upload more, beside the fact that I don't know, you can go on social media and present your portfolio. Besides of that, beside of I don't know, contacting directly I don't know, ad agencies, companies, videographers, and so on and so forth, and try to pitch your music. You cannot really do more on these sites, and you have to understand that if you are doing that work, you are doing that work for you. Yes, for you, but for them also. But for them also, because there's a 50% cut now. There's a 50% cut. So if you are selling a song here and is thanks to you because you pitched your work, then obviously start to pitch your work, but not using those platforms, because these platforms, they are taking a cut. So this is the disadvantages that I am seeing right now. I would like really to know what are your opinion about this. What do you see as a disadvantage beside this? What are other advantages that I haven't spoken about? So I hope if you are really a beginner and you want to try out this adventure of stock music, production music, background music, by creating music and uploading on these platforms, first of all, I really invite you to look my other, I will put the link here up, my other footages that I have created in order to better understand what kind of music and what should be your approach if you want to try out this adventure. Then I think for beginner it's important to understand what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. And first of all, really not to try to hang on this idea and make it as trying to make your main income. I mean, that depends. Because if you are living in a country and you can live with $100 per month, then obviously it is very good business. It is the most effective and simple business for you if you are living in a country. But if you are living in a country where you have at least this amount to assure to you and for your family, then these platforms and this business and this adventure, it can be very dangerous for you and for your family. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.